Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Alicia McMichael Show. Welcome. Today we have an amazing guest, and she just arrived from Los Angeles, California to visit us in beautiful Hawaii. Please, everyone, welcome to the show today, Miss Stephanie Rae Harrison.
Hi everyone, how are you doing? I am so excited. This is actually my first time in Hawaii, and I am here visiting one of my best friends who has been such an inspiration in life, and I just feel so thankful and grateful to be here spending this entire week really getting to know her, really expressing who I am, and just having this amazing opportunity so that we can come together and create.
Awesome. I am so blessed to have your presence here in Hawaii. It's been such a godsend meeting you from the Hollywood Talent Associates and learning about your story of your inspirational journey from wanting to become an actress and everything that you've done to pursue your career and the entrepreneurship behind yourself and everything you've created and everything you're doing to create impact in the world. Can you share a little bit about your story and how you got started?
Yes, of course. So I am an actress model from Los Angeles. I have been acting since I was about 10 years old, and really started with my passion for television and for film and the characters, the character development that goes into becoming something you're not. That has always driven me to really kind of take any situation, any experience that I've ever had in my life and create a circumstance, a character around it. And so I think that's where my passion comes from, is people. People that I've met in my lifetime have really influenced me in different ways. And I've had a lot of mentors in my life who have really guided me through my path of acting. And with a theater background, it's kind of a transition when you're transitioning from theater to TV and film. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scene. There's a lot of things, I mean, as actors, we think that we didn't get a role because, oh my gosh, our hair color was the wrong color, or why didn't they pick me? Poor me, poor me. And there's so much that goes into the business of acting and the entire creation of a film. And it's our job as actors to really understand that character, but also understand the business and understand how working together as a team is creating this positive change in the world. And so that's really what kind of has always driven me. My first kind of interaction with theater was when I was in elementary school, then moved into junior high, high school. Actually, my very first role that I ever played was called Princess Peachy, and kind of like from Mario Kart. But it was actually a performance that I got cast as the lead role, and it was very unexpected. It was just kind of a class that I took when I was in ninth grade. And I didn't think I was going to get the lead role. And when I did, I was just overjoyed with excitement. And I got to go around to all these different schools and perform on stage for children younger than me and really be a light and a mentor in their lives as they are really kind of figuring out who they are. And that's how I got started. And then from there, working with an acting coach, knowing always in my mind that my true calling was to be on TV, to be on film, to be inspiring people, and knowing that without a doubt in the world that as long as you follow that true path and you have that faith and you are walking a straight line and you're doing the right thing, those dreams just come about and opportunities present themselves. And that's kind of what I started to see after I made the decision that, okay, you're told, go to college, get a degree, be a professional, work an 8-to-5 job, do all these things that society really builds up to be important. And I think the message today is really that we need to inspire people to really just follow their own path and follow their own dreams, and that it really doesn't matter what anybody tells you. Because when I first started modeling, because it kind of goes hand in hand with acting, I was always told that you're too short to model. You can't do this. You can't do that. You need to have money saved to move to LA. You need to, all the things that people put in your ear that really cause a distraction for you. It took faith in myself, faith in knowing that I was put here on this earth to be on screen and to be a mentor to people who are on a path of whatever their dream may be, to inspire them to, even though they may have doubts in their self, that it's going to become reoccurring in their life, and they're really going to figure out that moment when you feel passion like you've never felt in your entire life, when everything on stage, everything on the camera, it feels seamless. And that's when I think your true power comes through, when you're able to really just be in a seamless state for an audience to be moved by who you are, who the character is, the research that you've done. And it's been so empowering. It's been definitely a challenge, but it's been one of the most amazing experiences of my life. And all my dreams have already come true. Like, it's all already in effect, and I see the pieces. I see how we are all connected.
Wow.
So I just love that.
That's so beautiful.
Thank you.
I know, I remember we've had conversations about the challenges in acting and how that's come through. And one of the things I know about you is your passion for prayer and your connection to God, and how that's been a true support for you in your life, and how it's pedestaling you into your career of opening up so many doors. Can you tell us more about your prayer, and how often do you pray, and what do you ask for, and how you've experienced miracles in those prayers being answered?
Yeah. Prayer is such an important part of my life. Praying for myself, praying for my family, for my friends, for the world around us. There's a lot of kind of things that are upside down right now that a lot of people don't agree with, and it's hard to really stay focused and stay connected to what's above. I mean, that is what is guiding us. Whenever I'm in a lost state, I pray consistently, like throughout the day. I pray in my own head, I pray out loud, I pray with friends, I pray with family, I pray at church. I mean, prayer, your relationship with God is truly that. It's a relationship, and you have to feed that relationship with words and with reading the Bible, understanding God's story, because I mean, that's the most inspiring story of it all. And that's, for me, what acting means. You know, it's a chance for me to make a difference in the world by telling stories, by telling people stories. And whenever I've been kind of lost, my transition from living in San Diego, making the decision to move to Los Angeles, was a tough decision. I mean, I always knew that LA would be the place that I kind of ended up. I didn't really know the path of how I was going to get there. And I was devastated. I applied to only UC schools in California. Being a California girl, I was like, I don't really want to leave California. Yeah. But the first school I heard back from, I used to tell my mom in first grade, I'm going to go to UCLA, I'm going to be an actress, I'm going to be on TV, I'm going to do what they're doing. And she always told me, Stephanie, follow your dreams, follow your heart, have faith, do what you believe is true, and everything else will work out. And so that's what I did. Despite everybody in my ear telling me, hey, this isn't for you. Hey, maybe you should go in a different direction. Hey, you're good at so many things. Why do you spread yourself so thin? Like, all these kind of their insecurities started kind of rubbing off on me. So I started questioning my own self and my own path. And I think that's really when Jesus and God really came into my life in full force and really showed me that, hey, you're in San Diego. On paper, your life looks amazing. You have this corporate job, you live on the beach, you are doing all the things that look amazing to people. You've got like a company credit card, you get to work with all these amazing clients. But deep down, there was always something missing. I was following somebody else's path. I was following what I was told to do, not really what God was telling me to do. So I remember the exact moment I felt so lost, and I put my hands up in the air and I said, God, universe, whatever's out there, guide me in your presence, guide me, show me how and what I'm supposed to be doing in this world, because right now something is missing from my life and I'm feeling called to something higher. And after I said that out loud, and after I made that decision and changed my mindset and was able to really focus on what has always made me passionate. I didn't have to grow a passion for something. It's something that has been ingrained in my blood since I was in first grade, you know? And I remember, I mean, you could probably relate to this being in gymnastics. So I remember being in gymnastics in first grade, coming home from a class and sitting in the splits after gymnastics watching Full House on TV and Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. I mean, I still love them. And asking my mom questions in first grade, like, are they really friends in real life? Like, how do they know each other? Come on, ew, they're kissing, like, what? Like, and asking my mom, like, they must have something they put on their lips. Their lips aren't really touching. And all these questions in first grade, understanding, like, how a story was being told in a light that was believable to me as a first grader by these characters, you know? And from then on, I've always just been really fascinated with film. And after I kind of made that decision, threw my arms up in the air, everything in the universe and everything that God had ever really put me on this earth to do all made sense. And then it wasn't a matter of like, where do I go next? It was like, how can I get there quick enough? You know, it was like, okay, go left, bing, okay, I'm going that way. Okay, now you got to go down, now up, now, oh, wait, over that way again. Wait, you forgot something over here. God taught you, like, you got to learn, you got to go down a certain path, and you got to have these struggles that you go through. And from that, it shows you that in every moment you're exactly where you need to be. And I've seen so many signs, even just flying from LA to Hollywood, just the conversations I've had, the people as an everyday reminder of their story needs to be told. My story needs to be told. Your story. Everybody in this world, we're all connected.
Absolutely.
We all have our own uniquenesses that make us whole. And together we can, I really believe that we can accomplish anything. We can, the power of prayer can heal any person, can create life, can the community, the conversations, like that is, those are words from God coming into our bodies, telling us this is just our physical being, but so much more of our emotional and our higher self come through when we know that we're on the right path to follow our purpose. And so prayer for me is all healing. It's everything. It happens all day long, for people I just meet, for people I'm close with, for myself, and most of all, just being grateful, and something, I mean, that we all strive to be is very humble. The things that we have in this world have been given to us, and God has chosen us, each and every one of us, to live out a purpose. And the more you follow that, the more other people are going to follow their purpose as well.
Awesome. So what do you believe is your God-given purpose?
My purpose is to win an Oscar, to be in films that move people, and to create a nonprofit for children who have kind of grown up through a struggle of not really having a place where they can truly step into their calling, and creating that space for them through whatever their passion may be. I have been told my whole life, my middle name is Rae, R-A-E, so I always tell people, Stephanie Rae of Sunshine Harrison, and everyone I've been also collecting a list of nicknames that people kind of just give me, like Little Espresso, because I'm just full of life, you know. But sunlight really resonates with me, and being this ray in people's lives, and I think that's my God-given gift. That's my God-given purpose, is really to be a ray of light, and to bring to people smiles when sometimes they can't smile themselves, you know, and they need the power of prayer, and they need the healing to really know that they are on the right path, that those doubts, those struggles, those things they go through that are hard, that they think nobody else in the world is going through. There are so many people going through that exact same thing in that same moment. And if you're able to have faith in the struggle and know that in the end, everything is going to, well, there isn't an end. Like, there is, like, I also have always said kind of that people ask me, like, where are you from? And a lot of people get the traditional, oh, I'm from Clovis, California, or oh, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, or, you know, I'm from Honolulu, Hawaii. And, but I tell people I'm from heaven, and I am living in heaven every single day, and I'm going to heaven, and I'm going to have everlasting life. And that there is no fear in my heart, which creates another opening for me to fill that with my purpose here in this moment, in this earth, to be that ray, to be that sunlight in someone's life, and to give them my smile, and to really just be able to lift people up in any way that I can, through just being who I truly am.
Awesome. That's so beautiful. So for people that are watching that might be going through a struggle in their life and want to connect with you and understand your level of vibration, of how much light you're truly emitting and shining into the world, like, would you be able to share with our listeners, like, some of the experiences you've had where you felt a struggle, and then through the prayer, how the prayer was answered? Like, do you have a specific example of maybe like a miracle that occurred in your life that brought you to this place? Like, can you share some of that with our listeners?
Yeah, I think it's happened often in my life. One particular moment right now that's coming to mind is similarly, like when I left San Diego. I love San Diego. It's such an amazing city. I had all my family down there, and I left something that was steady, that was creating an income for myself that I was passionate about, to figure out if there was something missing beyond all odds. And I took a risk to move to LA with no money saved, with no plan, with just knowing in my heart that when I put my hands up in the air and God told me, you are supposed to be in LA right now, that is your next move, to be strong enough to listen to that. And there were times when I was living in LA my first year there where I was 100% fully focused on acting and modeling, and there was no doubt in my mind. I'd already written my Oscar speech. I've already, little signs would show up in my life that reminded me that the struggles that I was going through financially were just money, and it was not something that dictated my future. And I think that's so important as you struggle, because I know everyday stresses get to all of us. Everything that we go through, there would be times when I didn't know how I was going to pay my rent, and I was scared, and I probably wasn't my best self in that moment because I was letting money dictate how I felt, and it kind of made me like question my purpose. And instead of going deeper into that negativity of I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent tomorrow and focusing on that, I was able to realize, okay, I don't have a traditional job right now, but I am making enough money to survive. I am doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, and that it's just a matter of where I put my mindset and where I choose to have faith and where I choose to listen. And I think that's a big, big key part if you're going through a struggle, to be able to listen to the signs around you, listen to those voices in your head, listen to your intuition that you feel, like listen to those moments. If those people that you meet that have an impact in your life and you don't necessarily know why, or they just cross your path and you just feel their energy in that moment, listen to that. Question that. Ask God about that. Ask Him to show you exactly what your purpose is, what your avenue is for His bigger purpose for you. And so going through that struggle and that transition of not really knowing anybody in LA, not really having friends, being very lonely, meeting friends, but not the right people, surrounding myself with a very corrupt kind of world that Hollywood kind of is in a lot of ways.
Sure.
And in a lot of ways, movies tell those stories as well. And being able to look at technology and TV and film as a way to create positive change. And that has now become my focus, is that, and I think it's always been, and I think I just questioned it, like I said, because the world around me.
Sure.
But I think we, as people, when we're young, we know what our passions are. We know what lights us up. We know what we're good at. We know, our body tells us, our feelings, our mind, our head, we know all these things. And if we step into that, there's no stopping any of us. And if you can help others find that about themselves, the struggle becomes obsolete, and because the faith is so much bigger than that. And my wish and hope for all people is, in this earth and world that we live in now, is that they can really step into their own power, into their own purpose, and have the same faith that I know you and I both have, that everything is going to work out as long as they put their trust in the world, in God, in the people, in the conversations, in the storytelling, in those interactions, those gut feelings. You have to be aware of that and present to allow it to enter into your being, and which then ultimately allows you to step into your higher purpose, who you've always been, who you're supposed to be, who you will be, God's plan for your life.
Beautiful. I love that. Yeah, it's great to experience some of the times, like when you moved to LA, and knowing that, you might have questioned, like, hey, why am I here? And questioning your purpose. But as soon as you shifted to prayer, everything was answered. And it wasn't about going into the negative mindset of what was being projected towards you, but it was an instant faith in God. And that prayer has led you to everything that you've created today. So you've established yourself as an actress model, and I'm also aware that you're an entrepreneur. So let's hear about, first, with your acting career, like, what are some of the most fun projects you've been involved in, and then can we hear about what you've created as an entrepreneur as well?
Of course, yeah. So one film that I'm very proud of that I worked on about 4 years ago, I was one of the 3 leads. I play the role of Sally, which is kind of like the pretty girl in the office, the girl who has everything, like every man's kind of dream girl. And the movie is called Slapworthy, and it's a rom-com, so it's funny. It uses technology, it uses social media to really show kind of the society that we live in, and it does it in such a unique, like, funny way of, like, on a map, having like your picture from Instagram, like following the other person around. So it like brings in technology in a sense of everyday life, and it's very relatable. And I think that's important when you're telling any story, is that you have to be believable to the audience, because you are that character when you're on screen. And that role really really gave me a confidence, showing that, hey, I am a lead role in a movie. Like, it started off as an idea that then became like a series of like web series. Then that turned into a feature film. And that's one of like my favorite projects that I've ever worked on. And another example that kind of goes along with what I was saying about the seamlessness of acting. I believe that musicians, artists, yoga instructors, any creative out there can really connect with their purpose, and that they. What am I trying to say? They can connect with their purpose through movement and through knowing that there's a seamlessness behind it, because it's a feeling that you feel. And there's one role that I played when I was studying at the La Jolla Playhouse down in San Diego when I was in college. And this was the first time in my life in a theater production where the lines didn't matter anymore. Like, they were so ingrained in my mind, and I had done so much research on this character, and me and my scene partner had rehearsed so much that when we stepped on that stage, we were in this relationship. I played a pill-popping housewife, so I'd never done this drug before, but the research behind it had to portray the effects of the drug in a negative, not in a negative way, but in a way that it manipulated the character's mind and her actions of how she treated her significant other and the things she would think up in her head, like, not like hallucinations, but she would think these own thoughts in her head that was an effect of the drug, that then she would blame people around her. And it caused a huge issue in her relationship with her husband. And that was my scene partner. And that research and dedication that I gave to that role, when I stepped on that stage, there was no feeling like it. It didn't matter. Those lights, camera, everything was on me. The whole audience was looking, and I was this person. And I had never felt that feeling with acting before. And that really showed me, okay, if I can get to that level, kind of like a musician. So if my dad actually is a guitarist and a songwriter, and so music has played a big role in my life. I am so musically not talented at all when it comes to music. I cannot sing. I'm so tone deaf. But my dad used to play guitar to put me to sleep when I was little. And as a musician, I know there were times where that seamless feeling, that he felt it. The guitar played himself. The guitar, it was a person almost, it played itself. The instrument had its own personality, its own character, that my dad was using that instrument to show his purpose and his passion. And that was so seamless for him that when it came to me with acting, when I first felt that, I finally understood and got to connect with my dad on that level. Aww. From like a creative standpoint, from an artist standpoint. Nice. And I'm sure artists feel that as far as like painting or drawing, or there's times when just a piece comes together, and then there's times when you struggle and oh, this character's hard, this why would she think that, and how is she acting, and you have to go through that in your mind, and you have to create these experiences. And I think that has really, those two moments have really stood out a lot in my life. One was kind of comedy, kind of lighthearted. One was deep, dark, hurtful pain, and the differences in those show your capacity as an actress. Yeah. You can play any role as long as you set your mind to it and you do that work. And speaking of work, I will talk on the work I'm doing now with my business that I launched last year. Okay. So being a creative, a struggle that we have is trying to create an income for ourselves while we are following our dream. So Sometimes, I mean, I know starting out with acting, like I had to do some free stuff just to get some footage for my reel, to get the next opportunity, to get a speaking role, to get an IMDb credit, to be cast in on TV in a movie, you know? And, but that struggle when you're trying to survive in everyday life can weigh you down, can become a lot, that so much so that it becomes a distraction away from your true path and your true purpose.
Sure.
So while I was doing while I had moved to LA and I was trying to really 100% become the actress that I am, and I was struggling financially. So I was like, what can I do in the meantime that is still gonna facilitate my dream, still be in line with my passion, and allow me to create an income for myself while I'm following my dream. And what came about was I had an epiphany one day. I woke up one day, I was living in Santa Monica, and realized, oh my gosh, everything I love in life is making me money right now. That is how it should be. Everything that you have ever loved in your entire life should be creating an income for you. So then I started brainstorming. I started working, I also had a background in events. Corporate event planning was my corporate job before I left San Diego to move to LA. And so I still had a heart and a passion for events as well. And brands, corporate clients, they run this world in a lot of ways. And if you're able to connect with people on a personal level and be able to understand who they are and meet them where they're at and understand their passions, then you're really able to kind of hear their story through the way they speak, through the way they act, through the way they dress themselves. And so for me, as I started realizing that, wow, I've really stepped into my own power, I've really stepped into my purpose, and all my dreams were coming true, and all this money I was making was just coming in left and right in abundance. And my first thought was, how do I help other people get to be in this position I'm in right now?
Yeah.
Because I love people, and I'm a giving person. And so I started brainstorming, and I found out that there's ways that you can work promotional events. You can find something that you're passionate about, like yoga, which we both are extremely passionate about. And you can then look up events in the area, events where you live that revolve around yoga. And you can reach out to those clients to see if they need anybody to help out. A lot of the times they do. Maybe you start off doing a volunteer job that then leads you to a paid job. So that's still, yoga is one of my passions.
Nice.
Acting is my dream, which I'm still in line following that acting dream. And it's who I am as an actress. But yoga helps me stay grounded, stay connected to my faith so that my dreams all start coming true. So with that, I launched a staffing business to help people who are trying to follow their dreams be able to create an income wherever they are in the world. And I do that by bridging the gap between a client and a third party, a brand and an influencer, a yoga school needing a yoga teacher, you know.
Nice.
I'm
That's
able
awesome.
to be the middleman because of my knowledge, because of those experiences that I've gone through, that I have had this passion for people, and I see so much in people, and all I want to do is help them see that in themselves.
Nice.
And know that they're going to be okay at any moment, no matter where they are in the world. So I've created a platform and a company called the Jet Set Gems.
Awesome.
And we travel around working with different brands, and we represent kind of the elite of the elite, the best of the best of people who can work together as a team to represent a client well. at an event. And but it goes beyond that as well. But that is the basis of the company. Is I basically staff events.
Awesome.
I help my best friends get jobs if they need income. I help them. I pair their passions with the clients that need them. Nice. And it's been extremely rewarding. It's been to have people that I used to mentor out in California, to have them now working underneath me for my own company because they love who I am and they've seen how hard I have worked to get where I am today, and they have their own dreams and their passions that they're trying to accomplish. And so I'm providing them a way to be able to follow their passion while making an income for themselves, doing what they love.
Awesome.
And it just fits. And sometimes in life, things just fit. And you have to run with that. My dad actually, so my dad has a song, it's called Magic. And the lyrics to it are, magic, run with it fast as you can. If you find out it's magic, the world's in the palm of your hands. And I used to think this had to do with love, which it does in so many ways. And love is what drives all of us and what should be in our hearts at all times, through the struggle, through the pain, through the excitement, through the rewards, through the gifts, through everything. Everything has to come from a place of love. And when I first felt that magic on stage for acting with my passion, I saw this song in a whole new light. I saw it in, wow, magic is all around us. Magic is when you feel that, when you get that feeling from the world around you, from God, from the connections, from the people that you meet, run with it. Don't let anything else in this world stand in your way. And it's amazing what happens when you listen. So that's kind of the advice that I would give to people is really follow your heart, come from a place of love, and knowing that magic is all around you. And once you find it, don't let it go. Continue towards it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing about your beautiful journey of acting and everything you're doing as far as entrepreneurship and creation. And thank you for all the lives that you're impacting in this world and your message. Is there a way that our listeners can be in touch with you?
Yes, of course. So you can all follow me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is Stephanie with a PH, Rae, R-A-E, Harrison. So at Stephanie Rae Harrison. My website is also StephanieRaeHarrison.com. And then if you yourself are interested in learning more about becoming a Jet Set Gem and expanding who you are as a person, then you can definitely go to that website as well. That is thejetsetgems.com. So TheJetsetgems.com, and click on Become a Gem. And that will put you in my database so that when I have a client that is in line with your passion, I will reach out to you, set up an interview, and if it's in the area that you live in, it's a way that you can really create an income for yourself while following something that you love. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Great.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you.
Thank you for visiting us in beautiful Hawaii.
Yes.
And wishing you many blessings on your path for your acting career and for Jet Set Gems and for your work with reaching out to children and inspiring them as well.
Great.
So thank you for being here and wishing you much success, and thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Alicia. Thank you so much for having me on air today. It's been wonderful just being in the city, just so welcoming from the minute I got here, and I just really appreciate you having me here to spend the time with you so that we can grow together in our friendship and as we inspire the world around us and help everybody step into their true purpose in this world.
Awesome. Would you like to close our sequence today with a prayer?
I would love that.
Okay, great. Go ahead.
Dear Lord God, I want to thank you for introducing me to Alicia through our passions when we connected on a commercial down in San Diego through acting. I never knew that the moment that I met her that you would have such a bigger plan for us in this world. Thank you, Lord Father God, for showing us this plan and for allowing us to fully step into you and step into our faith and step into our purpose and to be guided by your light, because your voice is our voice. We are here to be your children, to have a relationship with you. We're your disciples, and I want to use your voice in all the ways that you have planned out for me. And please look over Alicia as she continues her amazing show here in Hawaii, and as we get closer in touch with you, and just be with us and guide all the people in the world who are struggling to really just find out who they are. Be with them as they start to have those struggles and those questions, and they start to go left and right and up and down, and they have some confusion or they feel lost. Be in their life so that they know that you are there, that you are guiding them, that you are there in every moment. So I pray that you look over them and that you bless them with all their natural talents and all their God-given gifts that you've given them, so that we all in this world can come together through love and we can create the bigger change that Earth really needs right now. And we know that you're with us every step of the way, and that you're guiding everything, and that you have a plan, and that everything you're doing is leading us to the bigger purpose that you have for us. And I just pray, Lord Father, that you show this to everybody. You help them see you, and through my work, through Alicia's work, help everybody around us see you and us, see God, walk in line with God, and it's amazing the miracles that will happen in your life. In Jesus' holy, holy name, amen.